Hello everybody and welcome to the brand new 2020 edition of the LiesCast. My name's Adam Stevens, I play drums for Liberty Lies. And to my left...
My name's Joshua Pritchett and hang on, can I not say Joshua, can I just say Josh?
You can say whatever you want, I think this is...
Instead of Joshua, I'm going to take that back. My name's Josh Pritchett from the band Liberty Lies.
Very good. And to my right, we've got a special guest...
Who looks really miserable right now. This is Rennie Richards. She's my adorable pet who wanted to join us on the chairs. Say hello, Ren. No? Okay. I'm Shaun Richards from the band Liberty Lies, because to be fair, this is a Liberty Lies podcast, so everyone's going to know who it is.
That makes sense.
It makes sense, I mean, you know.
Well, with that being said, cut to intro. Right, welcome back everybody to this new edition of the LiesCast. Is that why you brought Vimto?
Yeah.
Just for that?
It's the best drink in the world. I call it the Black Velvet.
Oh, right. 2020 then. What a bummer.
Load of crap.
How's your 2020 been?
I think it's been pretty shit for everyone, isn't it, this year? Cancelled shows, cancelled plans.
Cancelled lives for
Yeah,
thousands.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I think the saving grace is that kind of we were all in it together, weren't we? You know what I mean? So
Should we just do a quick straw poll around this table? Hands up if you had COVID.
Tell us about it. What did it feel like?
they feel great, to be honest, mate. Yeah, I was pretty flued up, man. I kind of spread it everywhere as well, which was pretty naff. Which weren't great.
Joshua.
There's about 4 different people who I come into contact with who had it as well.
So
But not us.
You didn't spread it that much. 4
No, I
people, I
suppose
mean.
not. But yeah, I think that was the main concern, because when you've got it yourself, I think it's worrying. But when you give it to someone, especially someone who's like over 50, you think, man,
Like Mark.
well, yeah, but so hench Mark is.
So we haven't
That ain't
gonna touch him,
we
is
haven't
it?
addressed the elephant in the room, but that ain't doing him justice.
They're very nice.
Oh yeah, bloody hell.
It's just a figure of speech.
It means your trunk, mate.
Well, in case you haven't noticed, this LiesCast is the first one in video format. We're testing out a new system, following on from our live stream, and all this is being controlled by Mark. So, thank you
Wave to the
him.
cameras, Mark.
There you go. Right, so in order to go through our year, we've got to first look back at 2019. So in November of 2019, we released our latest album, It's the Hope That Kills You. And yeah, so it's all kind of...
And it was
stemmed-
received incredibly. It done really well. Got in the top 10 of iTunes, I think, or
Amazon. It was on the top,
Amazon, yeah.
and it was in the top 40 of the iTunes rock charts.
Couldn't ask for any more, could you?
Pretty good. Saying it was all done by ourselves, no booking agent or no record label. Did it all by Team Liberty Lies.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so subsequently we did our album launch at Splinter Studios, and then we followed that with Planet Rockstock, and then it was Christmas. So 2019.
Ended really well.
And the last 6 months, 2019, we had Steelhouse, which
Yeah.
we played for the first time as a 4-piece.
Yeah.
Which was pretty mad looking back now.
That was the turning point for us, though, wasn't
Yeah, man, that year after that,
he? Yeah.
we did Hard Rock Out twice.
I know.
Yeah.
Just, man, we were really well received down there, weren't we?
And we had 2 days' notice to do Hard Rock Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
We
got
smashed it.
over there, done that, and then got the album released. Released United Nothing as a single, which smashed everything on Spotify and all the sales. And then album launch. Pleased with it?
Amazing. I think I cried that night.
Yeah.
On stage because of the beautiful vocals of the audience. Yeah.
I think for me it was the relief that we got through it.
Well, it was a
'cause-
stressful day for everyone, wasn't it?
Oh man, well I think 3 days. When did we start setting up?
Probably on the Monday. If the gig was on the Saturday, we
Yeah,
probably
man.
started getting, because we'd done it in our own venue and had to provide a PA system, and we got the big screen in with the projections on.
I think I should probably apologise as well to anyone on the Saturday who I shouted at, because I seemed to be shouting at everyone who walked past me that day because it was so stressful.
Did he shout at you? I don't think he shouted at me.
I think
I'd pop him in the face if he did.
I think our support band Malin got a lot of the brunt of it because
Yeah.
we were really trying to sort stuff and they needed their thing as well. So I felt sorry for them
Yeah.
guys. And
But
you
they
played
don't
bass
know-
as well, didn't you, for the opening band,
That
David
probably
Young?
didn't help with the stress levels. Really,
Well, we
did
were
it?
all chilling downstairs, and then you were on stage performing.
Mhm.
Sounded good though, mate.
Thanks, Paul.
Decent bass player.
So yeah, from there we went on to Planet Rockstock, which again, I think when we got to Rockstock really early, didn't we? And from playing it in years before, weren't expecting a lot. And then when we opened the door to look at the stage, it was rammed when it front to back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people we know in that circle, so we saw quite a lot of them. And yeah, it was just absolutely mental. Great way to finish off the year.
We sold a hell of a lot of the merch that day as well.
We did really well, didn't we?
Really well on merch. So thank you to everyone who brought merch on that show.
You know what, this is going to sound a bit weird, and I might be wrong here. And I know 2020's messed up my head, but didn't we do Inglorious as well within them 6 months?
Inglorious
the
was
6
the end
months,
of
yeah.
last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. So where's that coming? Because I feel like we've.
October,
just said it.
Inglorious.
Okay. Was that your plan?
No, I forgot that. But yeah, well, Inglorious as well. Then I was kind of going from like November, December, and then
okay,
on.
yeah.
But yeah, the Inglorious was, you know what, probably per person in the crowd, one of the best tours we've ever done.
I think that was the most settled we've ever been as a four-piece. Like, we've built all from Steelhouse, and that's Steelhouse's first show. It was scary.
Yeah, man.
I think
definitely.
we was ready for Inglorious. And I think that it felt natural.
I think for me, on a personal note, because obviously the way I'm playing guitar now has changed quite a bit, using like a looper on stage to replicate some of Bill's parts. Steelhouse was just like I practiced so much for that. But with Inglorious, I think I kind of felt more comfortable on stage as well
Yeah.
because I kind of knew my cues a little bit. I wasn't completely, a stress head about it. Do you know what I mean? So that tour was really kind of important for me to be able to just get all that out of the system to go, yeah, man, this is going to work.
I think with Inglorious as well, like when we've done tours before, like we've done the Shinedown tour, you're that nervous playing to that many people. Whereas with Inglorious, we were almost able to enjoy it and just take a step back and go, I don't feel that bad. Like
Yeah,
I don't
man.
feel like everything's going wrong. We can hold our own, and we practiced a lot for it, and we're getting received. It was almost like a headline show on that first night.
I know, it was
It was
crazy.
mental. Yeah, so that was amazing.
That was probably my favourite run of shows we've done. Especially as a four-piece. The Inglorious.
Oh, yeah, it was a 4-piece, yeah.
Kind of felt it was a good audience for us, and everyone enjoyed it, and we enjoyed. Like you said, it was nice to remember it.
Yeah.
When do you remember a show?
Yeah,
You never do. I remember it, the Inglorious one, like it was yesterday.
It's a proper motivator,
Yeah.
because you look at it and you go, imagine if we had 14, 15 dates of that.
Yeah,
That would just absolutely be mental, wouldn't it?
really would.
Well, it was about that time that we started planning our headline tour for 2020, wasn't it? So we were looking at going. So we played Holmfirth and Clitheroe on that tour, and we're like, right, we need to go back. So we started planning 2020 then, and that's when things start going in motion. So after Planet Rockstock, we had Christmas, which is everybody takes 2 or 3 weeks off there, and then January come around, it's picking everything back up. We'd already decided that we're going to be releasing letters. Shaun designed the lyric video for that. We kind of come up with the Twisted Valentine's concept around it. Released it Valentine's Day. And then also one of our biggest wins as a band in 2020 was it got played at the Albion game.
Yeah. Well, two of us are massive West Brom fans, so sorry to hear it. We was at the game.
Yeah, it was both
To
there.
hear it, the stadium is just crazy, isn't it?
Well, I still remember it 'cause I think it was a Tuesday night, wasn't it? And we were playing Stoke. And yeah, it
Your
was
memory is
just-
incredible. I had no idea who was playing at all.
No, it was bizarre because obviously me and you've both been going to the Albion for a long time. So then when you hear our song,
It sounded good.
it was very good.
You'll never do that.
Well,
You'll never have that.
I might do. When it gets played at United,
Oh,
Old Trafford,
It's a bit bigger. I think. I think we'd all be excited about it.
We might go to that one as well. Yeah, so that was February. And then shortly after that, the country found themselves going into lockdown 1. So that took us from April to August. So in lockdown 1, will one of you explain kind of what went on Liberty Lies wise, if we're being honest?
Well, we announced this tour. It was going great. Ticket sales flying out. We was ready to go. It was like a week before, wasn't it? When COVID hit.
Well, the plan was to still do it when we were still until our mate Boris announced the tour, we were still going. Not the tour. He didn't announce the tour. We announced the tour until he announced the lockdown.
Liberty Lies tour. Next slide.
But yeah, we were going to do it, and you were really fighting for it when you were like, if there's 10 people turn up, we've still done it. But it literally was like a week before the first date, and they was like, no, shut the lockdown.
Yeah.
I think it was I was in your camp for a long time with this, because it was like, it's admitting defeat, and nothing like this has ever happened before. So we kind of just thought, proper Liberty Lies way, innit? It'll be fine. It'll sort itself out.
Well, luckily for us, because a lot of bands are panicking about the financial thing. We were that unorganised. We hadn't booked a hotel room, so we got these tour dates booked, and we didn't lose a penny on it because we hadn't booked anything. So we got merch to sell and stuff like that, but that can still be resold. But we didn't lose any money on hotels.
Sometimes it works in our favour.
So,
because all this what's happened is so unprecedented. When you hear someone like this come out, you're like, well, how long is this going to last? A week?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like that, wasn't it? So it was kind of
I think sometimes
admitting defeat, like you said.
It's almost like it needs to be taken out of our hands, because we'd do it no matter what. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing where once someone takes it out of your hands, you go, okay.
Yeah.
well, yeah. And then for the first time in 11 years, we weren't able to meet up, weren't able to practice. We didn't do anything, and we've always kind of decided stuff. We're not all very good at talking online, are we? We're not consistent organising. We have to meet up and go.
Well,
right,
some of us are,
what's the
but
plan?
some of us say.
Yeah, it's a good job we got video, because that would have been missed.
No, it would have.
And I think we're in 3 different boroughs as a band. So
Yeah.
even then, it was difficult for us to meet up. And we went for a dog walk in the park, didn't we? When we were allowed.
Oh my God.
And the hottest day of the year
That was boiling.
it was. But other than that,
You nearly died, didn't you?
we couldn't do anything, and it was just we did a couple of covers. We've done the Black Sabbath one, we've done a Royal Sons one.
The Simple Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've done a couple of Instagrams, but other than that, there was no technology for us to even do the stream. It would have cost us a lot of money, and we couldn't meet up to do a stream. So
I think as well, again, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have the motivation to do that. For me, after doing the album, the next thing was touring. So when that was taken away, it was a bit like...
and it's nice to have a little bit of time off, isn't it? To not... You have to stay in Liberty Lies mode all the time and be like, if a gig comes up tomorrow, we've got to be ready and we've got to practice and we've got to get this done. So for the first time in April, we were able to go, right, well, there's nothing for the next few months. So
Yeah. I don't know about
enjoy
you guys
being
as
with
well,
family.
but the first week of lockdown, once everything was cancelled, it was great because we had nothing to think about. We was just chilling. And then after that week, it's like, shit, what are we going to do now? And I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones. I managed to get a proper job. But a lot of people lost the job because of it, you know what I mean? And especially being musicians, we're stuck. I know Mark's, I dropped a lot of work and everything, and it's just really sad.
So I've got a list of the things that we got cancelled personally. Obviously, there's a lot more press. I mean, we're not moaning about this in any great length. Obviously, we were so much better off. That's why we weren't really doing any kind of GoFundMe stuff to try and keep going. We were all right, but obviously we still got affected. So we had a 3-date tour with Vega.
Mm.
We got that tour booked, which was going really well. We got our headline tour cancelled. Bloodstock, that was going to be our biggest ever festival to date. Supposed to be 80,000 people in the field.
This is depressing. This is dude.
I know. I've got good news as well. So we had Bloodstock, and then we subsequently thought we were coming out of lockdown. So we had our show at the Robin 2 and the station in Cannock cancelled as well. So we had our fair share, and the government don't kind of make any allowance for bands. So we've got as musicians, we've got zero, haven't we? Out the government, there's been nothing.
Well, we had retrain.
Yeah, we were all told to be ballet dancers,
That's it. That's.
which we know
perfect.
pretty good at ballet, aren't we?
Oh, mate, you ought to see me.
I-
You ought to see me get my leg over my shoulder. What? You don't believe
Let's
me?
see it. There's cameras now.
I'll rip my jeans. I haven't stretched.
So we did lose a lot, but there was some positives. We got to the first time actually we got together was to film Webfest for the New Wave of Classic Rock group. Which, if any of you listening aren't a member of, go and join because there's lots of really cool bands, and they've been really supportive of us and they've backed us recently. They haven't been going since day one, so they've backed us since they've been going. So Webfest was cool.
Really good. Went down really well. It was really cool. Did you watch the whole day? I watched the whole day. It was really cool.
It's introduced me to a load of new
You didn't
bands.
watch the
I
whole
haven't
day?
got Facebook, so I
Oh,
don't see that.
well,
Sorry.
it's on YouTube as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'll check it out. Sorry about that.
We was watching, weren't we? We was
texting each other. What
it was really good.
Who was your favourite band?
Who's that band?
Shape of Water were good.
Shape of Water smashed it.
Who's the band that you showed me? He's like blues guitarist. Who he
Got his
sings.
name.
He's Phenom.
Yeah,
Was it in a barn kind of looking place? That one.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
It just makes me think of Walter Trout, but he's another blues guitarist.
Yeah.
But he was that kind of ilk.
He was really good.
He was very good.
If anyone knows the name of that man,
He was good. There was quite a few, to be fair. Our friends, the Welsh band as well. I've ruined it by saying it now, and I've totally forgot the name.
Welsh band,
The band that we played with in Newport, where the drummer's a
Oh.
hunk.
Transmission.
Cancel the
Cancel.
transmission. There we go. Sorry,
Got
guys.
there in the end.
Yeah, the drummer was a hunk. I remember that.
He took his top off. Remember? My word! Look at them rippling muscles.
Yeah, so Webfest was good. We did, in the midst of it all, we got 4 Black Country Music Award nominations.
And if you're not from the Black Country and you're not that bothered, that's quite big for people in the Black Country. So
Well, we won one last year. We got Best New Wave, which I think they meant rock. It was New Wave. So yeah, we got 4 nominations, but that got cancelled. And then socially, we were racking our brains when we trying to think of something to do on the social media because it was just silent. So we started Song Wars.
which was really good.
I had a great time trying to see where it was going, and
Which song won in the end?
are you listening?
Crazy.
Well, we were having a chat, like we all kind of did our own tree, predicting what would win.
I thought Day in the Sun was the winner, man.
Well, all of us had different Final Four, didn't we? What we thought was going to win.
You thought United Nothing was going to smash you?
Well, it's the most popular online, isn't it?
Was popular?
Oh. What did you think?
Yeah,
Did you know we done that?
Yeah, I did. I was part of that. I
Did
think.
you got Facebook?
Yeah, it was. It blew my mind that I listening one because the people
Blew your mind.
blew my mind because, especially the people down here, like talk to Gaz, Bob, that kind of age bracket. You
That's
think
my dad and the guy that helps us at the studio.
they they think that's our worst song. Do you know what I mean? And the talk about Day
All
in the
that
Sun.
screamy shit.
Yeah. So I was surprised that Day in the Sun didn't win as well.
I'm glad though, because we released that
man.
when we were 18 and we're 29 now. Some of us.
Cheers,
Yeah, so that was good. So that took us from April to August. And then nothing again. Where are we now? December now.
It's December now.
And we just got put locked down again, so we've done nothing, basically.
Well, I just want to say how nice it is to be sitting in a room together.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
To be fair, we've been writing all that time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've got quite a few demos for the next album,
Don't get me excited about the next stuff.
and I feel like we've got a lot of touring to make up for next year,
Yes, we do.
if we can.
Well, we've got loads of shows booked for next year, but whether they happen or not.
Well, this is the difficulty now, innit? What 2021 looks like. So if it all goes to plan, it's going to be a very good year. So the next step for us, January, we're supposed to be playing Leicester Academy with the Hard Rock L New Wave of Classic Rock event. Whether or not that's on or not at this point, it's the 6th of December now, and we don't know.
Nothing's been said.
No, and I suppose a lot of it depends on vaccines and whatnot. Yeah, I've got a list of what we've got booked so far, and if I've missed anything, let me know. So January, we've got New Wave of Classic Rock event. In May, we've got Hard Rock Hell Ibiza road trip. What?
What's happening?
So we get to go on holiday
Yes.
and gig in the sun.
Yes.
And I forgot about that. It's banging, man.
If it happens.
But that's part of the problem with this year, though, because it seems so far away to get to May and taking all of our stuff on a plane. It just doesn't seem realistic at the minute. We're not technically allowed to go to our parents' house, so how can we go to another country?
But it's weird you saying the gig in January. That's like 6 weeks away. And you look at it and you think, as much as you want it to happen...
We need to get practicing.
Oh, yeah, we do.
And then after that, Bloodstock 2021. That's in August.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, the lineup is ridiculous. There's so many good bands on. There's a lot of scary fonts on the bill that we don't normally see ourselves with. But
Shout out to Vicky Hungerford for that one.
and then following that, we've got Rockwitch
Yes.
2021, which we were supposed to be playing this year.
Those Damn Crows.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a good, great band?
And Rockin' the Bowl in Sheffield
Yes.
in September.
We're on the Friday.
Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, so that's what we've got in the diary. We are planning on doing a headline tour for everybody asking. Obviously, a lot's depending now because we have spoke to bands, and some bands are booking now for 2022, which just seems ridiculous. So we will tour when we can. Realistically, it's going to be spring at the very earliest, more likely summer, and it's getting back into venues. I just wanted to acknowledge as well, because we didn't talk about it in the 2021, the cancellation thing. Obviously, there's a lot of people disappointed about the refunds. It's such a nightmare for us, but I think the companies are really struggling at now financially. So we apologise for the people not yet had their money. It's nothing to do with us.
We feel bad about it.
We're chasing it up, and if we could do anything more, we will. We've spoke to the guys, and they're all telling us that it's going to get sorted. So, yeah, nightmare, but we're just doing our best. Okay, so positives, all positive from here. 2021, will there be new Liberty Lies music?
Hell yes. I added the hell because I'm that excited. Hell yes.
So without giving too much away, how would you describe the early starts of new music for Liberty Lies?
Rocking.
I'd say it wasn't too far away with the last album.
Last album? No, I don't think it's a million miles away.
I mean, I listened to that. Listen to our album in full actually yesterday, and I'm still 100% happy listening to it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's one of them albums, like with Reflections, we've said this before, the stuff would change. With the last album, I can't pick anything to change. I love every track on that album. Everyone.
100%, yeah. And I think more of what we've got. You know what I mean? It's more of that stuff, really.
I think we really want to do one of these where we talk about It's the Hope That Kills You in full. Let's break down the recording process. We'll talk about each individual song. Now's not the time because we've got to talk about the year gone and the year coming. But we'll do that for the people that want to. So let us know if you want to see that. So we've got no official date or time for when the new music's going to be. But we have produced it ourselves, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
We have, yeah.
I say we. It is a very royal we. Because Josh has done the vast majority.
It's a JP special.
But I play drums on it and you sing on it.
Well, yeah.
So
still Liberty Lies.
Do you play guitar on it?
I do, actually.
I think I play a bit of guitar on it as well.
Oh, yeah. We got the Shaun Paul Richards solo.
Luckily, it's down very low.
Yeah, but
So you
you know what?
can't,
It's still there, though.
Yeah.
You still need, like, a Slash guitarist on the album.
Oh,
we'd love a Slash guitarist on our album. That would be great. But yeah, so we've actually experimented. So in lockdown, we can't go out to another studio. So we've recorded everything ourselves. So the new music that you hear is going to be fully self-produced, self-recorded. Yeah, and it's working well. And fingers crossed it works and you all like it because it's going to potentially save us a lot of money. But it also means a lot more new music can come.
A lot more content.
A lot can happen quicker because we haven't got to wait for producers and we haven't got to book things. We can do it ourselves.
But what was the the difference from Reflections to It's the Hope That Kills You. How long was it?
Time-wise.
7 years.
7 years.
So hopefully we can cut that down a little bit.
Yeah.
Shave
Well,
a
it's
few
going to be
years
like
off.
1. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the plan.
That's always been our problem. We've always released stuff really far apart.
Yeah.
I mean, Are You Listening is on It's the Album Kills You, but it was 4 years ago we released that song. How crazy is that?
It is. It's mad, the transition, though, that we've had since then.
Luckily, that's a song you can play as a 4-piece.
Well, it's been 2020 was a big year for that, wasn't it? Obviously, we did lose Bill, which just feels like such a long time ago. But Bill's not dead. But yeah, so we've had to step up to the plate as a 4-piece, which has been a big change, and we haven't done as many shows as we'd have liked. So run through me. I'll go to both of you. Start with you, Shaun. What does the ideal but realistic 2021 look like? So we ain't talking headlining download, but
No.
does, and you've got to factor in the first couple of months are going to be a bit iffy.
Yeah.
This time next year, we're sitting here discussing 2021. What do you want to have done?
I just want to play some shows. I really need with an audience, with an actual proper audience. I want to sing some songs and just see their faces and clapping. Don't you miss clapping? When was the last time you heard a clap? Like from an audience?
I'm
That-
going to have cut the
That
video
one's,
now.
that one's for you.
Yeah, just and I'm a big advocate for bear hugs. Bear hugs. They've gone down the shitter, haven't they? So I'd like at least one day where bear hugs are
You can
back
hug
in.
everyone.
Yeah, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Josh, what about you? What does a good 2021 look like?
Obviously, I want us to be playing shows. I've got like a switch in my head. So like with the album, when we was doing the album, I was focused on that and nothing else. So for me, it was like every day, whatever I was doing, jotting ideas down, tinkering at stuff. When I woke up, I'd have like a pad next to my head. I'd be like, oh, I'll try this. The touring schedule was supposed to be that switch where I chill for a bit, and then when we go back to writing, back on. So now, I've kind of switched over to that where, for me, the main focus now is probably the album. So
New album.
the new album, yeah, sorry. So I think for me, playing some shows, Bloodstock's
That was
that's
a
bucket.
killer, man.
That's a bucket list thing, man. So
The day that we should have played Bloodstock was a bad day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you
man.
look and just think we're not allowed out the house, you can only go in the garden, and we would have been playing to. We wouldn't have played to 80,000 people, but somewhere, there would have been at least 1,000 people there.
We're on a poster with Judas Priest. So, you know,
So
be nice to actually get to do that.
yeah, man. For me, that's a big one next year. I mean, it's cool that we can still do it though. Do you know what I mean? It's not like
Oh, yeah, it's great that they didn't
Go on.
just
could
make
have
it virtual.
yeah.
Yeah, but they could have washed us off. They could have been like,
Wow.
if we need to
Definitely.
cut a band, that band from the Black Country,
Yeah.
Judas Priest, can do one.
How amazing, though, that we've been asked to do it
Yeah,
again. Like, you know what I mean? They
it's
didn't
mind
just.
blowing and stuff like that.
Crazy.
happens. So that, but for me, I think the biggest one is the album because I feel like it's in our own hands now. So just making that the best it can be, and if it's as good as the last one, I'll just be 100% happy that year. So how about yourself?
Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with both of you. I'm desperate to play some shows. I think I'd love a really successful headline tour. I know a lot of bands do say it, and they have to say that the ticket sales have been good. But for the headline tour that we had booked was just, it was blowing our minds, wasn't it? How well it was going.
In places we'd never played.
We're not under any illusions as to our level of success as a band. We know what we are, and our Spotify numbers aren't massive, but they're authentic, and we've worked hard to get them. Realistically, we've got 9,000 fans on Facebook, so we ain't going to be selling out any arenas. But a good few people in every place, and we've got some really good support bands wanting to play with us, which was good as well.
Yeah.
It's good to keep good company with bands because it makes for a good show, and then everyone's getting value for money. So yeah, if we could keep the shows we've got, add a good headline tour, and get some solid foundations on a new album, that would be
Amazing.
a year well done, I think. Let's move on to fan questions. I'd I'd like to thank everybody we would like to thank everybody for sending them in. Got some really interesting questions. We're going to start it off with Kevin Childs, who says, when writing a song, what normally comes first, the lyrics or the melody? Josh?
To be honest, I think it's whatever comes first. So that's such a terrible answer. I'm so sorry. Let me reword
It's more
that.
like melody first. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah, but there's times when
There's times when the lyric makes the melody.
yeah, but I think sometimes as well. I'm trying to think of a song.
Basically, everything I'm saying right now is wrong.
I think
No,
the
no,
answer is both.
Yeah, I'm
isn't it?
saying both. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're correct.
We have done, but see, for me, I write lyrics without melody.
Well, a line. You wrote that before we actually had the music, didn't you?
Yeah, so it sounds really pretentious, but I suppose it's like a poem, rather than I'm not writing thinking this line should be sang like this. I've wrote it like I like how that sounds, and then we put it to the song.
Whereas Four Walls, for like a good portion of that song's life, it was just you doing it.
We are cutting that.
What? I'm trying to think of the melody, but that's where you just
Well, it went.
you just scat over everything.
Yeah.
We've had some terrible working lyrics, haven't we?
Yeah.
And some of them very nearly made it onto the album.
Yeah.
But there's some dreadful. The song titles before we've the song titles before we've changed them to real titles have been dreadful, haven't they?
Yeah. What's
So,
the worst? What's the worst one we've had?
I don't think we can say that.
The old Vultures, the original Vultures title.
What was that? Oh, yeah. We can't say that.
I just saw that it just clicked into you.
Can't say that kind of thing. Oh, dear. I remember that.
So to answer the question, really, it is both. It does depend on the song. I think I'm more of a lyric person than a melody first. Whereas I think we write... I think it depends as well if we write as a group. I think if we write as a group, the melody tends to come first, whereas if we write individually, the lyric probably comes first.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really... I find it really hard because... I'm looking at the camera. If a guitarist or a drummer writes a melody, it's weird because they write it to the instrument and then playing. And as a singer, it's really hard to jump on board with... Because I can't play an instrument. So, I'd naturally jump on the melody there, it wouldn't be for you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I think as well, it's interesting when it's like, we've done stuff in the past where I'm like, oh, you know what, if you just change this note to this note, it's the seventh, and it makes this, and then it's like, well, that don't work in my head. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is how it should be. You know what I mean?
It's so weird.
So hopefully that answers the question. It could be both.
It probably didn't answer the question, but...
No.
I'll just get it anyway.
Right, so moving on to the next question, we've got Reece Sargent, who sent us in a lovely email. I will read it all out because I don't know if he wants us to, but it's very nice. So Reece says, in college, we're learning about the pros and cons of putting out music on your own and being signed to a label and the contracts involved. I just want to know your thoughts on the topic of record labels and the controversial contracts involved. Quite a deep question.
Some what we have experience in, I think.
Yeah, well, we've never been a signed band.
No.
But that has been our choice.
We've definitely had offers.
Well, there's offers on the table now, realistically. So, yeah. Does anyone want to weigh in on...
And like you said, it's a big question, isn't it? I think for us, we've always wanted to be a signed band until we saw the contract and then realised why not every band is a signed band. So I think a good example's our friends in Search of Sun.
Yeah.
Who they kind of got where every band wants to be. They're signed by Spine Farm. You think, man, this is next level. And then I think they did one tour and then didn't play for was it 6 months, like that?
I don't think they'll mind us talking about it either. I think...
Well, I hope not, because I just started.
We've had a lot of horror stories, haven't we? We spoke to Stone Broken, didn't we? And I know that they had a bad record deal. And I know we know bands have had to split up because it's the only way out of the contract. And we've been told that ourselves. Like, we've had meetings where we said, well, if we don't honour the terms of the contract, what do we do? And it's like, well, you have to break up. There's just no. It's the only way to void the contract is by being a band no more.
Mm.
And it's scary for a band like us that's been doing this for such a long time that you suddenly have to go, well, we signed a bad deal, so it's call it quits. He's asked the pros and cons. So putting music out on your own, what's the pros of doing that?
Keep it.
Yeah.
Keep 100% of the profits, don't you?
100% of profits, 100% of the licensing, everything.
And you've got creative control over everything.
Yeah.
So if we want to release a 40-minute song, one song, epic,
It wouldn't get played on radio,
but we can.
but we can, yeah.
Yeah.
And who's to tell us we can't? No one.
Well, that's partly our problem anyway. There is no one. We're doing this now, and we don't send it to anyone for them to go, you shouldn't say that, which is partly the problem.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's us doing what we want to do, and hopefully it's all right. So, pros of it, cons of releasing music on your own?
It's hard work. Really hard work. With not just the release, it's the PR and everything.
It's that. I would say you've got to be self-motivated, but I think even with a label nowadays, you've got to be self-motivated. If you look at the guys and gal in Stone Broken, there's no band who works harder than them. You know what I mean? And they under a major label.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure really.
I think when you're not signed, you become very reliant on your fan base, which is a similar. We mentioned on our fan group, The Undivided, about potentially doing like a Patreon to try and help support us something financially, and we would give something back. And I think that's when bands need that kind of system, because there is no network to help you get out there. It's all word of mouth then. So you become very reliant on that. Labels do bring their own benefits, but I think everything we've been offered hasn't.
It's opportunities more than anything, isn't it? Like the people who we've talked to, the things that have got us excited is, I'll get you on download next year. Oh, do you want to tour with Judas Priest? I can sort that. You want to tour with Orange Goblin? That's been one. Yeah, I can sort that for you. Oh, The Answer. I talked to the Answers management the other day. You know what I mean? And all them, the way we've always got kind of hooked is, oh, I know this guy and I can sort this tour for you. So that's
not like might, it's I'll get you on.
Yeah.
No problem.
There's always a carrot dangled.
Yeah.
And it's never, we aren't financially motivated, so it's never been, we've never had, if you sign this, we will give you X amount of money.
It's always been, then.
It's always been.
£1 million. Yeah.
We'll get, and sometimes as well, do you remember we got offered, we went to London to meet a guy who wanted to sign us, and he said, you have to record at our studio. You can't go anywhere else. And we just started recording with Ramesh, and we were getting really good results, and we didn't like the studio that this guy was making us go to. We're like, well, if you want what's best for us, let us do what we think's right.
It's because it was his studio. That's why. It's all what it's all about, isn't it?
But that we are kind of tarring and putting everyone in the same category. But there is good record labels, and there is bad ones. We just haven't found the right deal for us. That's only why we haven't done it so far. We could sign one soon. Yeah. But if you do, the pro is that you get full creative control, but then the con is that it is just that you've just got yourself to answer to everything, and if it goes wrong, it's on you. You foot the bill 100% yourself.
I think it's a shame as well, because I think with Libertalize, the dynamic of all of us, we could probably do with someone in our corner going, come on lads, you got to do this, kick up the arse, we want this by this time. And I think it would work wonders for us. I just think the problem is, everyone we've kind of got close to in that, there's been a point where we've gone, oh, this isn't kind of what we were promised.
Yeah. So. No, definitely. I agree.
Cool. Right, next question. Eileen Bamford. Following the success of the Christmas t-shirt, have you any plans to release a Sleigh Bells Ring, Are You Listening mashup Christmas single? This sounds right up your street.
I am down.
That's a sick idea, to be fair.
Great idea. It's a bit late now, though.
Yeah.
For Christmas. Or is it?
Man, let's go.
Let's do it now. I would be 100% happy to do that. How we'd do it, I don't know.
I'm surprised we even got a Christmas t-shirt, because that was late in the day. We literally got it. They arrived with us this week. They've been sent to everyone. And to be fair, they were a massive success.
Oh, yeah,
because we were like, how many people's going to buy them? And I think they're probably our record sale of any t-shirt so far.
Yeah. They're great, though, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just a short window of how long you can wear it for is the problem.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, but they can bring it back out next year, can't they? If all the members are the same, knowing us, someone will go.
Which person are you talking about?
Oh,
There's a seat right there. Sorry, I just kidding.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's brought merch in general. I mean,
Yeah,
the hoodies have flew out as well, and it's keeping us going, isn't it? Financially, so thank you so much.
Yeah, well, like, everything's gone straight back into so the profit from the hoodies has bought the t-shirts,
Yeah.
and then the profit from the t-shirts has bought a contribution, like the mastering costs of new Liberty Lies music,
Yeah.
and then that will then pay for the next Liberty Lies music after that. So it's all just keeps the ball rolling, which is good. So Christmas single next year, maybe 2021.
Definitely.
Amazing, yeah.
Start planning now.
Yeah.
Start planning now. Right, next question is from Sam Childs, and she said, this is quite interesting because Miles isn't here. You all go for a night out. You're all buying rounds. Who is the first at the bar, and who waits till last?
I'll definitely wait till last. Never got any money, so... who's first? I'd say one of you two, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hard Rock Hell, the awards, was one of the last times. And I think me and you were... To be fair, Mark's good as well. To be fair,
Yeah.
he can't speak, but Mark is good at the bar. Mark does normally get the first round. But that weren't the question. I think me or Josh are one of the first. And then when it comes to who's last, Shaun and Miles both go for a collective walk
Yeah.
and hope that no one's thirsty.
It depends if I've had a good week, money-wise. If I've had a good week, money-wise, I'll spend it all that
But
night.
with you, it also depends how drunk you are.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're very drunk, then everyone's having a shot.
Yeah, because I'm not thinking about where my money's going.
Everyone's
where the bills are going to get paid or not.
Sean's asking if they've got any Ray Nephew and how quick he can ruin everyone's night.
Dear me.
We've had some good nights.
Not after Ray Nephew.
Oh, shut up. You loved it. You love
Oh,
Ray's
it's Ray
nephew.
and Nephew, innit?
I don't know.
So, yeah, so I reckon me and Josh are pretty close. I think we
Yeah, I agree.
and then,
Damn the two richest.
so hopefully that answers the question. Right, this is the last question. This comes from Sam Bedford Harmon. He also sent a really lovely email. I don't know if everybody's read it. You've probably read it, haven't you?
Mm.
But I don't think everybody has, so I'll forward it to everyone.
Have you, Josh?
I've not read it
It's
now.
on YouTube.
No, this is on email. He ain't got email.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't got-
You need a letter.
Yeah.
That's what it-
Fax it. We'll send Sam. We'll send you over Josh's fax account number, and you can fax him a copy of your lovely
Carrier
message.
pigeon,
Yeah.
if you can, please.
Smoke signal will work as well.
Parchment.
So the question reads, and it's a long one, so bear with me. The pandemic and lockdowns have shown everyone how vulnerable sectors like the entertainment industry are during these times, and just how many people can be affected when these sectors aren't able to function as they used to. What do you think can be done, whether from an individual fan level or all the way up to government, to protect these industries and keep them alive and thriving during times like these? What?
Wow.
You want to ask me what the question is now?
Well,
So
yeah.
basically, COVID-19 has struck. Again, say it's happened next year. What can be done different from individual people to help support bands like us and the music industry, and then from not just fans, from the government?
Yeah.
So we've already said today that we haven't had any help from the government, have we?
No,
As a band, as
yeah.
musicians.
but I'm not sure if we should. If I'm being honest,
A lot
'cause-
of self-employed. Everyone who's self-employed is in the same boat.
you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the thing. It's a shame, and I feel like we're obviously in that boat. But when I look about, there's people who are in a lot worse positions than us. It's really it's such a tricky one because I feel like I don't know the first thing about politics and stuff with all this. So it's easy for me to say the government should be doing this, but then by them doing that, are they taking money away from something else? I have no idea. So, to be honest, I'm just going to bear out to this question because I've got no clue.
Same. That's it's a massive shame, but I still don't think anything. The government can't pay more than they have. I mean, the entertainment sector's already had millions. Millions of pounds.
Well, I mean, just from us, we shouldn't be getting anything, should we?
Oh, no.
As a band, because
It's our choice to be this way.
As much as we want to do this, we've all got other jobs that we're having to do.
Yeah.
I can't speak for anyone else in the sector, but from our position as being musicians, and not only that, most people know we're in a covers band, Thunder Trunky, which is a big chunk of all of our wages. So we've been hit by that financially, but because we all work as well, we've kind of been able to be okay.
I feel sorry for the crew more than the band itself, because the crew, it's a job. It's a proper job for the crew.
100%,
the lighting guys, the sound guys, everyone. That's their job, and they've got nothing. If anything, the money should go to them first because they make the show.
Yeah.
So our guy just rocking up in front of a mic and start singing. He done it for the love in the first place. These guys who change the strings, do the lighting, that's a craft. That's a job they've trained for, and they're getting nothing for it because all the shows are off. That's who I think should get it more than musicians. As hard as that is to say,
Well, I think from the question that he asked, he says from the individual fan level. So a fan, if you have got, you kind of look at it. There's a different kinds of people. So if you've got no disposable income, the best thing you can do is Spotify streams, is shares, is watching YouTube videos, because there's so many algorithms in all the social media stuff now. So that's what helps, really. So if you've got no disposable income, you can't put anything towards the band, that's the best thing you can do, is just support the band. Because if you're kind of like a silent fan, is still great, but it's not going to grow the band. And in a time like this, if 100 people found us throughout lockdown, that's a win, isn't it, for us?
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. If you've got any disposable income, the band's merch is a massive help.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want someone to just donate for nothing. We did a live stream here, and we got a lot of... We set up a tip jar just so kind of help us. We have lost money this year because the gigs we were getting paid. So we've lost that. So that's helped us massively.
Yeah.
And people that were sending anything, whether it's £1 or £5, £10, whatever, is a massive help. So that's how you can... But you shouldn't... Just because you're paying more doesn't mean you're any more of a fan.
No.
We've all got our own circumstances, and us three individually would support bands in different ways. We've all got different favourite bands.
Yeah.
So you support how you feel comfortable. The government, it's a tricky one because it's an unprecedented situation, and maybe this will help them put something into place should something like this happen again, that we can protect it. As I go back to what I said before about the ticket situation, that doesn't help. There is nothing in place, so tickets withholding people's money is such a bad thing, but then they're struggling as well. But you need to get the fans' support to feel comfortable to buy again.
Yeah.
And we need to start finding ways that we can get back up to what we were.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say we ain't politicians to know the answers, but we've just got to try and help and be aware. And I think the statement about the retraining was so offensive to a lot of musicians to just...
Especially ones who didn't train in the first place. Like
that. But yeah, it's a difficult question to ask because I think we've all felt quite lucky that we haven't not been able to support our families during lockdown because Liberty Lies have stopped. It's affected us more because our cover band has stopped, but ultimately it's down to us as individuals not to be reliant on an income that is unreliable.
Yeah.
You have to have something else in place because anything within the music industry could all just shut down. And especially like myself being a drummer, if I break my leg or I break my wrist, that can potentially affect my income. And you as a singer, you blow your voice, we can't go on tour, you can't do any shows. So you have to have something in place. So should everything go and the worst happen, you're not left with nothing at all.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think, to be honest, the only thing really people can do is just sound like, I don't know what I sound like, but just be a bit kind with things. You know what I mean? Because I think it's so easy to, I think it'd be easy for us to go, I can't believe tickets have done this. Can you believe this? And get really angry. But then, again, we don't know the situation financially they're in. Are they close to being bankrupt or whatever? And it's just an absolute mess on such a unprecedented scale that think we just all need a bit of patience just to kind of see when when the dust clears, just to see where the land lies with everything. So
Cool. I hope that answers your question, Sam. Anyway, thank you to everyone for sending it in. We do really appreciate it. Right. So now we're coming to the last segment of the show, if this is a show. Everyone will remember our famous Spotify game. So
Famous, was he?
Famous. It was LiesCast famous.
Oh.
So I've done a bit of a twist on it this time. So if you've listened to our previous ones, I gave Josh one band, I gave Shaun another band, and that's to try and guess.
what was the score last time, by the way?
Well, Bill did one, so it wasn't always you two. So I don't know. I don't know who won.
I'm going to say me.
I would probably say me as well.
So we've got a draw.
It's a
So
draw
this is the decider then. I don't even know if this is just a bit of fun. We're just having a bit of pre-Christmas.
It's never fun.
never fun.
Santa's here. We've come for a bit of pre-Christmas fun. Ren's asleep. I was going to get the dog. Right. So this game's different. We've both got one band. We, as in you've both, one band.
One band.
That band is Liberty Lies.
Oh.
So today we're going to do Higher or Lower, that famous TV show game.
This to do with Spotify.
For our
Yes.
songs.
Yes.
Our songs.
Our songs.
Oh, okay.
God.
All right. So, who wants to go first?
Josh.
Josh will go
That
first.
was your first mistake, because the first one's pretty much a free hit.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. So, the premise of the game, Josh, I'm going to give you a song.
Yes.
And then you've got to tell me if that's higher or lower than the one I've said.
Okay, are we
Okay.
talking streams?
Stream. So this is on Spotify, so how many plays it's had. And a little side game for all of you. What I want you to do, right? So these numbers that I say, we get paid 0.01 penny for every play. So what you've got to imagine, right? Times that by the number, you'll be able to know how much money we've made over the last 11 years. It's a fun game for all the family. And also, bear in mind, these numbers are modest. We ain't Stone Broken,
No.
and we ain't Judas Priest.
And we don't pay people to put our Spotify's numbers up either.
Not saying that those two bands did.
No. I said either.
Some bands do.
Some bands do. Those
Some
bands
do
don't.
that. But those, to be fair, we've seen the audiences those two generate. They definitely don't do that. You should have left the pause.
If it sounded like I was saying that I did that, I didn't mean
You
like
did
that.
a little bit, but I know you, and I know you wouldn't have meant it like that.
No.
So you can figure out what we've been making. So the first song, I'll just reveal the card, is United Nothing. So I'm giving you this one because we all know. Smash it on Spotify. Where you going, mate? You joining in?
Excuse me.
Greg Guinness.
Excuse me.
So United Nothing has got 145,000 plays on Spotify. So Josh, your song is Russian Dolls. Is that higher or lower than 145,000? Now we all know the answer.
I'm going to say lower.
And he is correct. So Russian Dolls has got...
Easy one.
It's a free shot. 27,000 plays. So this is the power that Spotify playlists have, because United Nothing got a load of playlists and smashes. We get hundreds of plays on that a day. So, okay, Shaun. So, Russian Dolls, 27,000, yeah? You got
Yeah.
that in your mind?
27,000, yeah.
So what I want you to do is tell me if Vultures is higher or lower.
I'm going to go higher, Adam.
Higher than Russian Dolls.
Higher than Russian Dolls.
I've been talking for a long time now. It's going to my head. So Shaun thinks that Vultures is higher than Russian Dolls, and he is incorrect. Vultures has got 25,000 plays.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
You had the easy one.
So-
I don't see that coming either.
Well, Vultures is our second song on Spotify,
That's why I got a bit confused.
but it's the most popular at the time, isn't it? So it's
Ah,
currently,
okay.
for some reason, I don't know why, it's currently our second most
So
popular.
that's 2,000 lower than Russian
2,000
Dolls.
lower, yeah.
Mad.
But still
That's-
close, but
yeah.
good. And bear in mind, Russian Dolls has been out longer.
Yeah.
Right, back to Josh then. So it's 1-0. Or should we call that even because you did get a free shot?
No,
No, Josh,
get
get-
that 1-0.
Just get him. I'll let it
All right,
go.
all right.
Just give it him.
Okay, so we're back to Josh. So Vultures, 25,000 plays. Can you tell me if Are You Listening is higher or lower?
Got to be higher.
Agreed with him.
No.
You wouldn't?
Higher than Vultures? Are you listening?
Yes.
No.
I'm shit at this game then, because Josh, I'm right.
I am crap at this game.
Are You Listening's got 32,000 plays. Decent?
Very?
Decent.
I am so bad.
Okay, back to you then,
You got
Shaun.
this one, dude.
Time to make amends. It's 2-0 to Josh.
Go on in.
So, Are You Listening? 32,000 plays. So can you tell me, is someone else higher or lower?
That's a tricky one.
A
Those.
former fan favourite, someone
I'm
else?
gonna go lower.
Lower than Are You Listening?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes!
And he pulls back into the game, 2-1.
How much has it got?
11,000 plays.
That's crap. People, what are you doing?
Yeah, so all these songs are on Spotify if you want to go and check that out. Okay, so we're going to come back to Josh for this one. You've only got yourselves to blame, by the way. I did say who wants to go first. So
Very true.
it's nobody else's fault but your own.
It's probably my fault.
So, Josh, someone else, 11,000 plays, 1,000 people, higher or lower?
I know this one.
Lower.
You think 1,000 people is lower than someone else? Yeah? Shaun, what would you have said?
Don't know what I said. I'm probably wrong anyway. I would have said lower.
So you both said the
Oh,
same.
I would have said higher. Sorry.
Joshua is incorrect. It's higher. 1,000 people has 18,000 plays on Spotify.
That's banging.
That is really good, actually, to be fair.
So 2-1 still?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on. Okay, right, we're moving back to Shaun. And this time, Shaun, you've got to tell me
Bring it.
if A, 1,000 people, has 18,000 plays. Okay?
Yeah.
And the next, and you got to tell me if Different Tongues is higher or lower.
Hard one. I think Different Tongues has a lower amount of streams.
Shaun reckons that Different Tongues has less streams than 1,000 people, and he's correct.
Yes, I think that's 2-2, Joshua.
Different Tongues is 16,000. 16,000 plays.
Not bad at all.
All right? Right. Hopefully, final round. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do a decider. Okay. Back to Joshua then. Josh, can you tell me, Different Tongues has 16,000 plays.
Yep.
Is Day in the Sun higher or lower?
Look, 16,000 exactly.
No, I've just rounded it up
Oh,
for the
okay.
sake of me saying lots of numbers.
Day in the Sun. So Day in the Sun's been on for ages. I think.
Right, and we're back in the room. In typical 2020 fashion, our technology just failed on us. So we left you at Josh saying Day in the Sun was higher than Different Tongues, and he was wrong. Day in the Sun has 3,000 streams, much to our dismay, because people demand that song all the time. No matter where we go, people are always like, play Day in the Sun.
They're like, what?
Play Day in the Sun. And we've already filmed all of this once, but I'd rather spare you from us play acting. Shaun's last one was Circles higher or lower than Day in the Sun? And of course, it was higher with 12,000 plays, which means Shaun picks up the Grand Snowman Trophy with a nice 3-2 victory.
He did that again.
Yeah, he did do that last time, to be fair, but I think that's genuine. I would say that's genuine. So yeah, and we'll wrap it up again, shall we?
Let's wrap it up.
So yeah,
Like a Christmas present.
thank you to everyone who sent us questions. Thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you for Mark for pushing all of the buttons. Thank you for Shaun, Josh, and Renee, and myself for joining myself. And
Thank you for everyone for buying merch. Thank you for everyone for putting money in the tip jar live stream. It's getting us through this little thing. It's letting us put money into Liberty Lives again, which is what we need.
Little bits of positives
Yes.
for us.
And a massive positive, Josh. We've got new music coming.
Oh.
How big is that positive?
it's very positive. It's something for you to all to look forward
Super
to.
soon as well.
Yeah. 2021, but not late in
As soon
2021.
as Santa's been and gone.
Yeah. Shaun comes to town. Oh dear.
Yeah, so thank you all for listening. We do appreciate that 2020 hasn't been a good year, but fingers crossed everything's going to be semi-normal, new normal.
The new normal.
The new normal in 2021. We'll get some shows played. We'll do some more streaming maybe.
Well, if people want it, we'll do it.
If people want some more podcasts, if people want us to do It's the Hope That Kills You special.
We was going to do that naked calendar for 2021 as well.
You know what we was going to do, but we haven't done, because Miles ain't here. We were supposed to wax him, weren't we?
Oh,
wax
yeah.
his leg. That was a...
We're going to do another podcast for the album now, aren't we?
Yes.
So we'll get him in and we'll do the wax live.
If we can get him out.
We should do that podcast, stream it live.
Okay.
If people want that, listening now, if you want the next podcast to be live streamed,
Comment.
we'll do it. Comment, yeah.
Comment. So, yeah, thank you all for listening. We do appreciate it. And hopefully we've got some kind of jingle to play us out now. Go.